Welcome to Tech Blueprint, a window that lets you know the latest technology news in the world. Recently, the United States, which had always kept its door tightly closed to chip exports to China, suddenly reversed course. Following Nvidia CEO Jensen Huang's meeting with Trump on August 6, the U.S. Department of Commerce quickly issued an export license for Nvidia's H20 chip to China. Both the U.S. and Nvidia seemed relieved, believing this would reopen the door to the Chinese market. However, what they were greeted with was silence. Faced with this belated goodwill, China chose no response, and no response again. This unusual apathy has left the outside world intrigued. How could AI chips, once considered a bottleneck, suddenly lose their appeal? The problem lies primarily with the H20 chip itself. This special edition chip, developed to circumvent the U.S. ban, was labeled unenvironmentally friendly, unadvanced, and even less safe in an assessment by the Chinese official media outlet, Yuan Tanshan. It's unadvanced because its performance has been drastically reduced. Compared to Nvidia's flagship H100, the H20's computing power is reduced by a full 80%, and key features like high-speed connectivity have also been significantly reduced. This performance is insufficient for even small-scale model inference tasks, let alone cutting-edge large-scale model training. It's even inferior to domestic chips like Huawei's Ascend 910B. The reason it's considered environmentally unfriendly is its energy consumption. Data shows that the H20 chip's daily power consumption is over 30% higher than that of domestic Ascend chips. This not only means higher operating costs, but also runs counter to the green data center philosophy advocated by China's Eastern Data West Computing Initiative. The most critical issue is security. The revelation of backdoors in American products is no news, and China remains highly vigilant. This time, the H20 chip was no exception. Reportedly, the discovery of vulnerabilities and backdoor risks prompted China's Cyberspace Administration to summon Nvidia and demand an explanation and proof. American AI experts have revealed that Nvidia has matured its technology for embedding, tracking and location, and remote shutdown features into its chips. This means that, once these chips are adopted, user data security and even the entire cybersecurity system could be subject to control by others. Whether it's the potential for hardware-level timeout mechanisms or the potential data surveillance risks during software driver updates, both cross China's security red lines. In an era where data is an asset, no country or company can accept having their lifeline in the hands of others. Therefore, China is unlikely to open its doors to such a product until security concerns are fully resolved. The US's recent relaxation isn't due to a change of heart, but rather out of helplessness. Since the US banned H20 exports in April of this year, Nvidia has suffered a severe blow. Its quarterly financial report showed that the company recorded a massive $4.5 billion loss due to inventory overhang and projected an additional $8 billion in revenue loss in the second quarter. Both its stock price and market share have plummeted. Jensen Huang has repeatedly visited the White House, repeatedly emphasizing that the Chinese market could reach a massive $50 billion in the next 2 to 3 years, and that continued blockades would permanently deprive American companies of this market share. Intense economic pressure has forced the U.S. government to reassess the effectiveness of its ban. British media outlets have even reported that Nvidia and AMD agreed to pay the U.S. government a 15% tribute of their China revenue in exchange for licenses. However, the U.S. underestimated the dynamics of the Chinese market. During the years of their repeated struggles with bans and licensing, China's domestic chip industry has made significant progress. Domestic AI chips, such as Huawei's Ascend, have not only caught up with or even surpassed U.S. chipmakers in performance, but have also been deployed and applied in certain commercial sectors. The Chinese market is no longer a buyer with no choice but to pursue U.S. chips. With its own alternatives, China has the confidence to say no. China's non-response is not passive silence, but rather a strategic determination born of careful consideration. It sends a clear signal to the outside world: the door to the Chinese market is open, but the choice lies with China. China welcomes high-quality, highly secure products, not castrated products discounted for its own benefit. In future competition, China will continue to pursue independent innovation at its own pace, continuously enhancing the core competitiveness of its domestically produced chips. Facing external turmoil, China will prioritize self-reliance and forge ahead steadily. This may be the most profound meaning behind the 3 no responses. The Sino-US competition in the chip sector is far from over, but the initiative is quietly shifting.